Hello guys and welcome to my channel. Today I will be debunking a 1 out of 10 Sonic Movie 3 review. As most of you may know, Sonic 3 is the best received Sonic movie so far, praised by fans for 3 things. Taking inspiration from Sonic Adventure 2, which is one of the most popular Sonic games ever, double Jim Carrey performance, and Shadow the Hedgehog, who is one of the most popular characters in the franchise. But if you're unfamiliar with the games, there are a few things in the movie that might confuse you. Or in this case you hate the movie entirely. Before we debunk this video, I want to make something very clear. I have no hate nor disrespect towards this person at all. In fact, I spoke to him in the comments and he is actually a chill guy. With that out of the way, let's start debunking.
So, next up, we see that the container holding Shadow, and I know I've been calling it Shadow, but his name isn't revealed in later on in the movie, but I'm
starting off already with a major misunderstanding. It is evident in several of his videos that he's never heard of any 3D Sonic game before Frontiers. His name is Shadow the Hedgehog, not Project Shadow, and Shadow is not an acronym. He thinks he originally came from Sonic Movie 2, but he debuted in Sonic Adventure 2.
I've been asleep for 50 years, and
he was angry.
Yeah, but does that mean that he arrived on Earth in 1974? That was around the time when video games started coming to people's homes.
So maybe that 50-year reference is a nod to the fact that people started getting video games in 1980, about the early 1980s.
That's a good guess, but in every adaptation of Shadow he was sealed away for 50 years.
Here's a line that I didn't care for. It's that Sonic says that there's no snacks or in-flight movies. He treats the helicopter like it's a plane.
Here's the catch. He wasn't on a jet.
He was on a helicopter.
Hello?
Freeze! What do you think you're doing? Get that hedgehog!
Talk about low-budget flights, no food or movies. I'm out of here. I like running better. Talk about low-budget flights, no food or movies. We're out of here.
We finally see Shadow's origins, and okay, they basically just copied the symbiote story from Marvel's Spider-Man 2.
I'm willing to guess that Spider-Man 2 is where he first heard of Venom, because honestly that sounds a bit ridiculous to say. And if he doesn't like the repeating evil to hero story, then he definitely won't like Silver or Blaze.
Next up is something also out of character for Knuckles, and that is the fact that he is scared of ghosts. And that's not supposed to be in character for Knuckles, because Knuckles is supposed to be this fearless warrior, and yet they make him, and then they make a weakness for him, which is being scared of ghosts.
Actually, it's another Sonic Adventure 2 reference.
Huh? Who's there? What the? A ghost?
This flashback of where his pain came from.
Yeah, it's like, seriously? One death caused him that much pain?
I could mention many names like Uncle Ben, Ellie Fredrickson, or Mufasa, that are someone's closest friend who faces death just like Maria. Honestly, hating this type of plot arc is the last thing I expected.
Here's another thing that bothered me. And that's the fact that once both of them go for the Chaos Emeralds, both of them now have the power of the Master Emerald, essentially. And here's the thing, this actually contradicts what was said in the second movie, because Tails reads off the transcript that was in the temple in Siberia, and says that a single warrior can wield the emerald and defeat entire armies. So, what? Do they have, like, half of the power? Do they each have half the power of the emerald? Do they have half the Chaos Emeralds?
There are several occasions where more than one being can share the power of the Chaos Emeralds. This happens in games like Sonic Adventure 2, Sonic Rush, and Sonic 06.
Here's another thing that I would change about the movie. And that is the song that is being used there. So it's a song called Live and Learn. And throughout the entire movie, there are remixes of that song being used throughout the whole movie. It's like, why are they using this song in the first place? Like, I don't care for Live and Learn, okay? Well, this is my opinion, and I say that that song sucks.
I will admit he has a point. Opinions are to be respected and I can easily respect his. So instead of complaining, I'm going to explain things. Take notes, Thomas 575. Sonic 3 takes heavy inspiration from Sonic Adventure 2. In that game, Live and Learn is the main theme. It also plays in the final boss of the game. So this was a must-have for Sonic fans. Don't believe me? Watch this.
Não pode consertar sozinho.
Nossa!
Sonic and Shadow fight the robots, and then they do this and then at the end they do this weird pose where they're flying away, which I don't really care for. Like, they could have just had them, they could have just taken out that shot. Like, I don't really care for that. And yet somehow, for some reason, everyone seemed to like that. Just, why?
Because it's an iconic pose in both Sonic Adventure 2 and Sonic X Shadow generations.
Also, one other thing, Shadow takes off his wristbands, for whatever reason. I don't know why he does that. I mean, that's kind of just unnecessary. Like, why not just leave them on?
I don't know what the purpose of that either. It made no sense.
They never explain it in the movie, but those are Shadow's inhibitor rings. When he takes them off, he unleashes his full power, but at the cost of exhausting himself of it.
Finally, we come to the credits, and oh my gosh, this is the most version of the credits I've ever seen. So with the first movie, they did really well with the sprite animation for that. And finally, they downgraded it even more with this movie, with all this polygon. Like, why? Do they not have the budget for the credits anymore? Do they spend too much money making the movie look that they had to make the credits look like too?
Like I said, never heard of early 2000s 3D Sonic games. And someone else in his comments pointed out he's not even heard of the Wii either. Let that sink in for a moment.
The hooded stranger takes off their hood, and it's revealed that it's Princess Sally from Sonic CD.
Before you ask, he's only heard of Amy from Sonic CD, and in the manual it says her name is Sally. But we all know that name is irrelevant as of 1999 in Sonic Adventure.
I know I'm not one to critique about designs, but I just don't like how Princess Sally looks. She doesn't look, her head doesn't look like how she looks in Sonic CD and Sonic Superstars. Like, I know maybe they're going a different direction with this character, but I kind of wish they made her look more like she does in the games. Unless this is another movie exclusive.
That is the way her hair looks in the games. It changed with her name in Sonic Adventure and onward.
Okay, so finally, we see the post-credit scene that reveals that the Shadow is alive.
As we see him landing on the earth, and you see his feet.
Yeah, and takes the wristband that he took off, and takes the wristband on the ground that he took off earlier.
And puts it back on.
Why?
Because no one wants to see Shadow dead. Even in Sonic Adventure 2 he was supposed to die, but the fans loved him so much he came back in Sonic Heroes and even got his own game. Well guys, that's the end of the video, and again I mean no disrespect whatsoever to Thomas 575. Be sure to like, comment and subscribe. Thank you all for watching my first video.